Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta. Welcome back, gentlemen. We have made it through another full athletic year of Georgia State. It's all said and done with.
All done?
No more sports.
That's
No
it?
more sports. We're done. I think we were done last week, but we're done now.
Did we win the Boobas Cup?
I do.
Boobas.
Last time I looked, we had a long way to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and say
Probably not.
don't think we won the Boobas Cup.
Isn't it set up so the teams with more sports win?
Yeah. The more conference sports you play, the more points you get, and then there's I guess some weird sports that some schools have that we don't have, and so we'll never get it. Well, not having men's track and field, so we'll never get credit for that. And I don't know if Sunbelt sponsors the weird stuff like Monroe's water skiing crap or Trash Down South sharpshooting or whatever they have. But anyhow, I don't think it's mathematically possible for us to win anything unless we just won championships in everything that we do play in. So,
and even then, we wouldn't win somehow.
Well, then we should just do that. I don't know what's stopping us.
Yeah, we should just win in every sport that we play.
I think we are stopping us.
Oh,
with being in the end of the athletic year, I went back and looked to see how all the teams performed. Can you guess what team has the best winning percentage?
Ladies sand volleyball.
Tim? You think
men's
it's
tennis.
beach volleyball? Men's tennis. Oh, way off, Tim. Men's tennis was second to worst.
Yes.
Beach
volleyball's good, right?
Beach volleyball would have been my guess as well, but no, actually, regular indoor volleyball.
Oh they were good.
Slightly edged out, based off the out of conference schedule. The beach volleyball was the best conference sport. Volleyball was the best sport overall, only because beach volleyball goes and plays the top 5 teams in the nation multiple times.
Was the worst softball?
Softball was worse, winning only 22.6% of their games overall, 12.5%.
What about men's soccer? They're up there, right?
Men's soccer wasn't too bad. It's bottom half. It's behind men's basketball, 38% of games overall, 27%.
What about men's tennis? Women's tennis? Women's tennis.
Women's tennis was below that. Men's tennis was second to last. Women's tennis was fourth to last. Women's tennis edged out football. Nice. Football was our third to.
Ryan
loves the edging.
You're just stabbing us right now, David. With
yeah,
I forgot about that. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, we won 25% of our games overall. Overall, 12.5% in conference. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The year's over. Guess what? The only place to go is up, hopefully.
Yeah. We only had 3 teams that finished overall with winning records: volleyball, beach volleyball, and women's basketball.
Lovely.
This has probably got to be one of our worst years ever, no?
Yeah. And if you look at just conference winning percentage, women's soccer and women's tennis had 500 or better. So yeah, it was not a good year. Not a good year to be a Panther.
It's almost like the leader of the athletics department should be graded on the team's performance because he's hiring the coaches and they're recruiting the players, and it's kind of like a business. I don't know.
Isn't that part of the compensation package for general managers for whatever the hell he is? For Cobb,
I don't know.
Director. Well, at least they get
bonuses.
They get bonuses on postseason play and conference championships and national championships. But I guess he's just considering that money. Do you think his wife knows? Do you think Cobb's wife knows that he could be making more money? I feel maybe.
I hope so. I don't know.
Maybe instead of our campaign to get Cobb to Chob, should we call him Chob? Instead of a campaign to get Charlie Cobb to do his job, we just need to start sending over his contract to his wife and let her know how many tens of hundreds of $1,000s he's leaving on the table by not having these teams perform better. Do you think that would work?
I would hope 80s are just judged against team performance in general. I mean, they're not directly influencing it, but they have a hand in the coaches and
This is my favorite drunken idea I've come up with.
all that stuff.
Oh, here we go.
No, I know that the last thing you ever want to do is involve someone's spouse.
Yeah. Send over page by page in like a series.
Just go back and show, like, this is what the teams did. This is how, if the teams would have won just this many more games or here or there, this is how much more money that you could have brought home. I guess that is probably dangerous territory, isn't it?
Yeah, we should probably tread away from that. It's
I can hear the keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I don't know her name, so I can't say her name. I know she looks just like a friend of mine. His wife, because she's at a lot of the games. And she looks like a spitting image like a friend of mine, just a few years older.
Have you just said her name just to see if she looks?
Well, the first time I ever saw her, I had no idea who she was, and I saw her, and I was like, "Man, that looks just like my friend." And it was like weird to me. I'm certain I probably at one point almost messaged my friend to be like, "Hey, my buddy,
your wife's here.
It's a female." Be like, "Hey, do you have a family member that goes to Georgia State games or something? Because
do you have a twin?
Does your mom come here or something? They looks just like you.
Does your mom go here?
Your mom goes to college."
I'm just standing in front of your mom at the box.
Yeah. So that.
Oh, stop there. What else we got? So sports aren't doing sporty things. We're not doing the sporting things well.
We're not sporting well. That's for damn sure.
Okay.
No. Yeah. It's a bummer to look at. Like you said, nowhere to go but up. But the one thing I kind of took away from it is, so we had volleyball, beach volleyball, women's basketball as our best programs, all with winning records. The next one was baseball. And, we finished, I think, in the standings second or third to the bottom in the Sun Belt. Like, it was not good. Obviously, we were bottom 4 for missing the tournament. But if that's our fourth best program right now, that's doing pretty good, sadly enough.
Which one?
Baseball. I was gonna say men's baseball, but it's all men's baseball.
Yeah, I said ladies sand volleyball earlier, and you just let it go. Appreciated it.
Oh yeah. The funny thing about the sand volleyball is I remember a long time ago there being a controversy about it being. This is not even before we had this is before we had the sport. This is like Olympic stuff. I thought the women wanted to call it sand volleyball, not beach volleyball. Beach was somehow a derogatory term. It made it sound more recreation league or something like that. It was supposed to be called sand volleyball, but no. The official NCAA name is sand volleyball. You talk to any of the players, they'll tell you it's beach volleyball. They call it beach volleyball. That I don't know where. Maybe when that whole Berenstein Bears Mandela effect kicked in, I came from a universe where beach volleyball was a no term and sand volleyball was the preferred.
Maybe you were just on Twitter on the wrong day and someone was.
I want to say this was before Twitter days. Like I mean, I want to. This is like I want to say the Gabby. Was it Gabby Reese that was like the big beach volleyball player for the U.S. team, like back when they were playing in Brazil or something like that forever ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's a while Olympics. Ago. Is it beach volleyball or sand volleyball?
I think it's called beach volleyball. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Growing up, we always called it beach volleyball, but it was always co-ed. I mean,
right? Oh yeah.
Everyone has a beer, between sets, and
if beer doesn't make you better playing it, I have zero interest in the sport.
Exactly. Double down.
I should be really good I should be really into bowling.
Ooh, we should have a bowling team at Georgia State.
I think Georgia's got a bowling team. UGA's got a bowling team, I think. Hey, bowling you know what? I don't know. I don't know if they have a bowling team or not. I do know they actually have a 4-class credit bowling class you can take, because I knew a girl that took bowling at UGA for a class, like an not extracurricular, whatever they call it. The
elective.
Electives, yeah. She took bowling.
You know what we should have gotten men's hockey. Just be this weird oddball team with men's hockey.
Yeah, we can't add any men's sports because through Title IX, unless we add a crap ton of women's sports. I would love to add men's and women's hockey and women's lacrosse. I think those would be some good sports to add. Maybe add men's lacrosse too, but
I definitely don't see us adding any sports anytime soon. We're good where we're at, sitting pretty.
Yeah, I don't think we'll add anything unless the NCAA comes along and requires us to add sports.
True.
So, but,
going back to the baseball game. I mean, obviously we bowed out of the final game and didn't get in the tournament. I'm kind of glad we didn't make it. It would have been like a one and done most likely, and all that money wasted to travel up there, get there, hotel, whatever, play, get ousted.
We wouldn't even need hotels. We just bust down. Was that Montgomery, right? We just bust down
Montgomery. I guess we could done a day trip
that morning and like just have the bus driver have like a credit card on file. Like, hey, if these guys somehow win a game, just take them to the nearest Motel 6 and we'll be good to go.
Check them in somehow. 8 to a room. But I don't know. Like, it was just such an up and down season. We ended so unstable that I don't think I didn't have high hopes of getting in the tournament, and we almost got in. I got that little glimmer of hope, we all get at Georgia State. You're like, yeah, we're going to get in this tournament. And I started thinking, do I want to be in this tournament?
They do a loser's bracket, don't they? They do a loser's bracket, but we would have gotten in to the play-in game.
Single elimination.
Yeah, we would have had to have won a game just to get to the point where we could lose and stay alive. So yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I should say I'm happy. I think we talked about it last week. I think it's just best to put the season to rest. I know the guys wanted to keep on playing, but I think it's just with the season we had, it would have been great. Needing 3-game sweep of Appy State to be able to make it in and to get it, that's exciting.
That's to eliminate them.
To eliminate, that is the momentum you want. I just don't know if it would have gone anywhere once we got there, and it'd be riding that same bus back home just a few hours later.
I think we would
have hit a bunch of runs,
Yeah. I think we had started getting our shit together a couple games earlier and started winning more and more. Coming into that series, I'd feel different.
Well, we only needed to win one more going into it.
I know, right? Into the series, though. Like,
we
need to win 3.
We were playing pretty monumental. Well. I mean, we started this, and I feel like baseball always starts the season pretty well, and we played decently, and then there was just a drop off. And hell, and we beat Southern Miss 12-2. Southern Miss is now in the College World Series, whatever the regionals they're called, whatever, them and Coastal. We beat the snot at least out of one game, out of a team that's now has a chance to go all the way.
Yeah. The weird part is, I don't know if you saw on the ESPN ad, Southern Miss is the 1 seed, obviously, in their regional, but they're on ESPN Plus. They got shafted because there was some melt.
Yeah, so what they've got, I actually put it down here. They've got Alabama, Miami, like the real Miami.
ESPN 2, right?
And no, it's their game's on ESPN Plus. Southern Miss and Columbia.
Yes.
Oh, I guess that's a real school. They're playing Friday at 7 on ESPN. Oh, yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern. Just Eastern. I copied that from a Sunbelt post, and they actually had Eastern time zones. I'm surprised. They normally always put Central time zones.
Maybe when it's not their thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then Coastal hosting. I did see a Twitter post. So Coastal's hosting Florida, ECU, and Fairfield. And they said with Florida and ECU coming to town, Conway is probably the only place that has enough alcohol to support all the tailgaters. I didn't know Conway was known for having that many drinks.
I was going to say, that doesn't seem right.
No.
Is Conway known for anything? Because they never claim it. They always talk about Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, they're a suburb, right? Basically.
Well, they're the next town over. It'd be like it's like the Atlanta Motor Speedway claiming Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nowhere close there.
It's like an hour away, 45 minutes away.
Like Alpharetta or something, right? I mean, it's not close.
Right.
Yeah.
No one in Atlanta says that's Atlanta.
No.
Well, that's what I say all the time to my buddies that don't live in the city. They tell me how far away I live. They live in like, Woodstock or East Cobb or, Cherokee County or something like that. And like, you live so far away. And I'm like, hey, when you travel out of the state and you go on vacation and you tell people, say, hey, where are you from? Where do you say? I say I'm from Atlanta. I'm like, all right, cool. I live in the city that you say you're from. So don't give me this I live
I'm not
far
the
away
one.
nonsense.
Yeah. You're away from the population center. I'm in the population center. You live far away.
Exactly. Well, there was one small takeaway,
From
with
what?
the season. Somebody posted a thread on the Sun Belt board and just listed out how many teams, or all the teams in the Sun Belt, how many won conference championships this season. And beach volleyball did win conference championship again. And so we have that, and Trash Down South won 0 championships. So we got that going for us.
We're number 1.
South Alabama, Monroe, and Trash Down South did not win any conference titles, and Georgia State
You would never know it if you listen to their fans.
Oh God, they invented football. So
I think on the baseball thing, I think the one team that's salty they didn't get in is Troy, but they stumbled down the stretch.
I mean, had they won the tournament, they would have gotten it.
They would have got the auto.
If Troy would have won the tournament, the Sun Belt tournament, or even played a good series in the tournament, they could have gotten in. And then with Coastal and Southern Miss, I mean, as much as I don't care for this conference, and obviously as much as baseball is not like a sexy sport in college athletics,
you want 3.
Sun Belt's a good baseball conference.
It's a tough conference. Like the top half of the teams beat each other up, and then they beat the bottom half. So
right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel for Troy. I would like, as much as I don't care about the conference, getting 3 teams in would have felt good in a way.
And it's good for the conference. I don't know if there's any kind of like legitimate money that goes along with all that kind of stuff, but I mean that we spread around.
Yeah,
there's got to be some, but I just can't imagine it being a lot unless you make it to Omaha, right?
Yeah, I mean they had some quality wins. They beat Coastal, but I don't know. They try to rely too much on beating a few teams in the Sun Belt and then faltering at the end, and then trying to get the NCAA committee to be like blindly thinking they're an SEC team. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, you got to win the games. That's how you get in. So
that's how you do it. So
I'm excited for next year, though. We get a new baseball field,
new baseball park.
Well, I said field. I'm not saying park.
Okay, yeah, we'll have some chain link fences.
Those are 2 separate pieces of a complex.
Right. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what that ballpark, grass field, sand lot. Oh, maybe we can call it the sand lot.
If we pull up and it's the bleachers from Panthersville and a field.
All right, we need to do that. We need to go to the bleachers at Panthersville now and take a permanent marker and write on them so we can actually confirm whether or not they actually just moved the bleachers over. That'd be kind of funny.
It would be sad.
It'd be very sad.
They make a platform for the people calling the game, but it's outside.
You just it's a fold out table with a tent. I think they know what they had,
raised, right? They raised them up so they can see the game.
It's just a guy standing over the big wall over there, looking down upon the game, calling the games. His little PA system. He has his Costco karaoke machine where he's calling games.
The rumor is they're not starting until August.
I saw that.
Wait, where are we hearing that from?
Unconfirmed
internet
rumors,
social media posts from people that are closer to the program than we are.
Well, but who knows?
So we'll see. I don't know.
Not a lot of information.
We are still waiting for our groundbreaking invitation, so all 3 of us can attend.
Yes,
and
yeah. I want, and then when I can get the little ceremonial shovel and put it behind me right here on the wall. I'm like, hey, this was used to crack open some asphalt.
We should just get 3 shovels, paint them blue,
blue, white,
and then show up with them.
Just show. I heard there's a groundbreaking today. I got a pickaxe over here I could use.
Might be classified as a weapon, but whatever.
Well, whatever. We are now less than 100 days away from football starting.
It's amazing. I cannot wait.
96, 95 days, something like that. That's the big draw, right? Football.
Yeah, we're speeding along. I mean, we're almost in June. 3
Yeah.
months, basically.
So who was it? Somebody, ESPN or somebody, put out their rankings of all 130 some odd teams that are out there, and Georgia State clocks in at 114 nationwide.
Lower than I want to be.
Have we ever started the season in one of these like absurdly pointless polls, like better than like in the 90s or worse?
No.
I feel like we were higher one year.
Like in the 70s or something?
Or like 80s, mid to lower 80s.
And really though, to be fair, we don't
Not that it
deserve
matters.
We don't deserve it much.
No.
So like it's like I get it, like until we can like really stand up and show out, like what
have we really ever ended a season on a strong note?
Yeah, the 7-win seasons, we win the bowl games.
Yeah, who did we play? Was that that was the Christmas Day bowl game, Ball State?
Ball State.
That's because like even with
that was
the bowl
a high note.
That was very much a high note, and then like beating Utah State was also a great win. But I don't think I think the team kind of ended the season pretty lousy, like losing the last 2 or 3 games, right?
We did. We tried our hardest not to make it to a bowl. It didn't work.
Got the bowl eligibility, and you just said, "Man, we're done for the season. Bring on the Aggies, Utah State Aggies. Are they?
I think so.
Are they?
Yeah.
That sounds right. But also, I don't 100% care.
Right.
that was the season we started like what? Almost perfect, right?
The almost perfect season, yeah. That was Elliott's last season, right?
I think so. We're all like flying around, like, oh my god, we're gonna get to like 8, 9, 10 wins. Remember?
We honestly thought that we had a chance for College Game Day to come here for the Troy game or something like that.
Yeah, I thought, man, I'm dead wrong in this season. This is awesome.
And then the wheels. What was it? We lost like the last 6 games. I think that was that was the Utah State. That's where Freddie Brock made his debut, and now he's gone to wherever the hell he's gone to.
Yeah, where'd he end up?
I don't remember. Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State.
Yeah, sounds like money. I would take it on my college game.
No, but these rankings are interesting because obviously Ole Miss is the best ranked team that we're playing this season. They're ranked at number 11.
Ooh, outside of
that. But the surprise is that and then we play Memphis and Vandy, which are not premier programs, but they're an SEC team and a better G5 team.
Mm-hmm.
They're our 3rd and 4th team. Jimmy Madison actually clocks in as a 2nd highest ranked team that we play this season, ranked at 49. They're giving him a lot of credit. Yeah. But that's what I wanted to talk about with these dumb rankings. I mean, obviously it's too early in the season. Nobody has any clue. They're absolutely pointless. It's going to shake out completely different at the end of once the games start being played. Mm-hmm. But these rankings are kind of, based off of how they did things forever. And a big part of it is returning players and returning starters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's got to be just removed from all these kind of preseason rankings because nobody's going to have a lot of returning starting players anymore, right?
I've never understood it anyway, because if you're returning a bunch of people who like weren't very good last year, then like why are we gonna give them credit for returning? I don't like maybe we'd be better off swapping out.
Well, I think it's returning production. So they're like when they give them, they grade how good the players were that you have, and then them coming back with the expectation that they will continue to be as good as they were. Not returning, not percentage of returning players, but returning production. how much of your yards or your stops were based off the guys that are returning. But that's when you have, especially the G5 rank, G6 ranks. Well, at this point, the G8 ranks. What does it matter when all your top players are being taken away? Returning becomes a dumb concept. Just look at whatever the player did wherever they came from.
I think it's still relative to the team, so it's like returning of your like percentage of your production still. And so to me, I'm sort of still like, well, if your production was overall low, then again, who cares? But it might matter a little bit more, honestly, with the new system of people leaving because there's so few of people staying, right? So like it maybe that has an even bigger impact now that most everyone just has their teams dipping out.
Like that continuity factor, like the lower expectation of a drop off or something, because the team should be consistent. I just don't see it being a number that you can really quantify anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm only for like the very, very top teams, and even they lose players because money is money at the end of the day, right? So,
I mean, go ahead, sorry, Tim.
No, I was interested. Like you were talking about where we're ranked this year coming in. I was curious, what was our ranking exiting last year? We were 109 in FPI.
So we dropped from these rankings. We dropped 5. I mean, granted, 109 to 114. Who the hell cares? It's all garbage.
Is it the FPI though? That what they're saying?
This is the SP Plus.
SP Plus. Oh well, I don't have that up.
Yeah.
But our strength of record was 115. So like, I feel like all these metrics are kind of blended together.
But also, looking at it, we half the 1, 2, 3, half the conference, probably more than half the conference is in the 90s or worse. So it's all relative to your competition. Like trash is 78, which is I feel like a little high for them. I don't think that they're going to finish the season.
They're 78 at the end of last year too.
Yeah. Oh, they were 78 at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think rankings after like your top 10 are pretty much crapshoot.
Yeah.
I'd probably go a little bit further, top 15, top 20. But and I think a lot of that is just because people stop caring about ranking people or teams beyond that point.
There's just so many teams, it's really hard to tell. And then like any of those teams can beat any of the other teams, any given Saturday without too much effort. Just because like, I don't know, it's like it feels like the talent spreads out pretty good or something. I don't know.
Where did Southern Miss land? I'm just curious.
Dead last in the conference.
Really? Because they were third to last last year.
And also, they got the conference championship head coach.
The coach and half the players, right?
Coach Huff coming in.
Oh, other question. Kennesaw, where are they?
Oh, I did not.
They're probably in the 120s to 134.
They were low. They were bottom 10. Bottom 15, maybe something like that. They were below us. They were definitely below us, but I don't remember that. I just listed. I just got the teams that we play and then the entire Sun Belt to look at. So
yeah. I mean, if you look at it, the Sun Belt's got like a couple pods of teams that group together, and I wish we were in the top 3 pods. We're not.
We don't play a single team that is ranked below us. Every team is ranked ahead of us, even Old Dominion at 103.
Well, Coach A.D. McGee loves a challenge, so there you go.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when the season starts. I think it's going to be. I need to remember to actually keep track of these dumb rankings and kind of go back and look at them as the season progresses.
Ooh, that reminds me that season where we excelled out of the gates, and they had that Harris Sports or whatever stupid sports on Facebook that would post.
Yeah.
And he's like, they'll get 1 win. And we already had 2. And I'm like, looks like you're wrong. And he deleted his post.
I mean, hell, this far out, I could see us going, 1-11 or 11-1. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with this season?
Oof. I just want to get back to bowl eligibility.
And we've got to beat trash this year. Got to beat trash.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Because then they would have the lead.
Well, no, that and it's homecoming for them.
Oh, is it really?
It is. Yeah,
I did not know that.
So it wasn't set. They had on their academic calendar homecoming one of 3 October weekends, and I'm like, interesting. Who will it be? I have this feeling it had to be us.
Oh, they're gonna lose that game. They're gonna lose that game.
I mean, it's kind of set up like they're setting it up to be, oh my god, look at us. We finally take the lead back at home on homecoming, but we completely ruin that.
It is not a rivalry. Not a rivalry at all. They're gonna set us as the homecoming game.
Yeah. I mean, it was all Sunbelt teams, so it didn't matter. But
is that a sign of disrespect, or is that a sign of acknowledgement about the rivalry?
Probably a little bit. They probably do want attendance to be as high as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Arkansas State is the week prior, and then they are off for Georgia, Florida, I think.
And we we're on a short week? We're not on a short week that week, right?
I hope not, but you never know. It's the Sun Belt, so the answer is probably yes. Right?
Well, I can definitely tell you that I know we'll be gone the last 2 weeks of the season because they love to ruin the chili cook-off.
They just want to take 2 weeks away from you.
They just want me to eat chili when it's still like 80 degrees outside.
Basically.
What is it? It is... No, it's not a short week. We actually, it's best case scenario. We host Appy State the Saturday before that, before we're at Trash Down South.
Oh, that's good. So we're home.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised for them saying it's homecoming. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually made that a Friday night game.
Ooh, they could.
Yeah,
be schedule change. I don't know. But yeah.
And then we host a third. It'd be good for us because we host a Thursday game the following week. So they won't do that. They don't want to do anything that would give us any form of an advantage playing South Alabama the following week. But,
and do we fly or drive there? We have to drive there, right?
I've been told that the football team flies everywhere.
Wow.
I would imagine Troy would be a team that you don't fly to. Because that's just good. What, 2.5, 3 hours or something like that?
It would take longer to fly.
Yeah. Unless we had no security.
I mean, I don't even know where do you
pull the bus up to the plane or something?
Does Troy have some kind of regional airport you can fly into?
I mean, I'm sure
probably
something.
Like Athens has that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would bet that Athens airport does majority of their business on Saturdays or those game weekends.
Right. Fridays.
Or Friday nights.
Time people fly in. Yeah.
Well.
So yeah, something to look at. Homecoming, Southern, the lead.
That's it's the middle of the season. I do like the one positive about the schedule is that games are broken up and our bye weeks are right in between. We have 4 games bye, 4 games bye.
About 2 in a row.
Games. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the new Sun Belt way of shitting over our schedules. They'll give us our 2 byes will be at the end of the season, back to back, and then we'll end with 2 road games. The last 4 weeks will be byes and away games.
Don't give them ideas, David. They'll take them.
If that happened, then we'll know they're definitely listening to us.
That would be insane if they actually did that.
Right. So.
What else we got?
I really don't have anything else. Yeah. I mean, as a programming note, I'm going to be on Rec Talk on Friday for a new show that he's doing, kind of recreating the Around the Horn show from ESPN, just like talking BS about all range of sports subjects, non-sports subjects, getting arbitrary points. I watched previous episode. It's a lot of fun. And I'll be doing that Friday night. I don't know if that's live streamed or if it comes out later, but either way, I'll put it out there.
How many other hosts are there?
It's Rec Talk as the host, and then 4 panelists that he asks questions to and gives their comments and everything. Yeah,
cool. Nice, awesome.
Yeah. So And it went pretty long.
That guy's a hoot, and I don't care about Georgia Tech, but I might tune into something like that because it's not about Georgia Tech. And he's pretty interesting, though. He's pretty fun to listen to.
He's a fun guy. Same guy that might talk about women at tailgates and getting them.
Yeah, I would imagine that women at tailgates will be a subject that comes up.
Nice. You should ask that as a question. Like, so how do women at tech tailgates work?
Yeah, maybe I should ask the other guys. Like, has Rec Talk asked you how much women and booze you provide at your tailgates for him?
It could be a valid question. He might have an answer.
Yeah, you don't know the rules, dude. Yeah. Maybe that's why he invited us to come on there.
Maybe.
Oh. Oops.
Oh, look at that. Dana King.
Oh.
Watching from South Dakota on the way to Colorado State.
Thanks for watching, Dana.
Thanks for watching.
Can't wait to see you at a game this season. So I don't have any other notes for you guys. If we want to talk about anything else.
We could talk about stupid things people shouldn't post on the internet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that.
I mean, other than like 80 to 90% of the internet.
I was going to say, this is going to be a long podcast.
It might be higher by now. It might be like in the high 90s.
All right, Tim, you want to describe what we're looking at here?
This is a lovely post made by GSU Equipment. We love GSU Equipment, first of all. Shout out to GSU Equipment.
Groundbreaking news about the baseball stadium. That was parking. Sorry, that was parking. That's
parking. GSU parking. They've been quiet lately. I think they got in trouble for breaking the news. But GSU Equipment had ESPN College Football 2025 covers, and they're doing all of the equipment people that work for GSU Equipment. But one of these photos stood out when I was swiping through all of them, and this one, a Georgia State player in a blue helmet with GS on it. You can't do it. You can't. You just tell the prompt no.
It's even staggered.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not overlapping like Trash's logo is, but it's very
damn close.
Yeah, it's so close.
Yeah.
So pretty much AI is not going to know the difference between Georgia State and Georgia Southern.
And when you sent this over, this is something that I saw when I was creating one of the images for something. And sometimes with ChatGPT, if you ask it for something, it'll give you two responses. Like, we're testing a new model. Which response do you prefer? And both of them had the images that I wanted to get, and one of them had the GS as the helmet, not the GSU. And I was like, I prefer the other one. I didn't even care what the other one would look like.
Nothing else matters here.
Right.
I mean, the other bits of this, like, I mean, it's a pretty good replication. I mean, the logo is of course a little weird, but that's to be kind of expected, I think. But it looks like the words are good, which is difficult to do, and the layout of the uniform is right.
What's surprising to me with the new image generation tools, because I've been doing this a lot for the thumbnails on YouTube, has been how they use copyrighted brands and trademarks and everything without an issue. Like they use copyrighted material for their logo that they put on these things, and you can get actual people in the videos and pictures and stuff like that, which is just wild to me that was allowed to happen. I mean, I think it's great. I love it. It comes in great for us for trying to create stupid little thumbnails or social media posts and stuff. But the fact that it's allowed to do it's crazy to me.
Yeah. We could post the comment by our buddy.
Yeah, let me switch up here to this. And then Dana asking the question, who think quarterback Brown will win the job from Valer and potentially become top 3 in player of the year?
Some of player of
the year. I have no idea what's going to happen at the quarterback position.
I don't claim to know either. You know, I'm just like, man, coach has the best ability to figure that stuff out, especially right now. And who am I?
I know Brown's been talked up here and there. I mean, it's really going to depend on, honestly, our line and being able to run the ball and give Brown or Vair time to throw the ball and it not be blatantly obvious what we're doing. Like,
I mean,
you have to have all that.
I obviously want us to have a star quarterback with the last name Brown. I mean, just for pure selfish reasons, because then I can pull off that dumb dad joke all the time and say no relation.
So, well, there's some good UPS shipping, cheers that can happen. Like there's some fun stuff you can do with that.
Brownie can. I'm not sure that's appropriate, Dana.
Dana's in the hooch, I think.
Well, he's in South Dakota. He's got nothing better.
I mean,
than watch State of Atlanta.
it's animals and booze, right? That's it out there.
Our Kennesaw State buddy decided to join in.
Yeah, Jabari. Yes, they made the cover. The logo 40% or slightly lower is on the cover of ESPN Football 2026.
Who slept with who to get Kennesaw State on the cover of NCAA?
I don't know. It's interesting to see the teams that are in the middle and the teams that are kind of on the fringe. I mean, Georgia is a top corner. Air Force is more prominent. Appalachian State made it. They're just behind the 26. Like the letter is college football 26. I think SMU is behind all of it. And I can't make out what's behind the EA Sports logo at all. Maybe it's Utah. I don't know. So yeah, their teams, it's basically a bunch of flags. I don't know if you guys have seen it, all patched together. So it's a bunch of flags patched together, and then two players, one from Alabama and one from Ohio State, on the cover. And so, like, yes, some G5 teams made it, some P5 teams, a lot of P5 teams made it. Actually, more G5 than you think. I see Army, I see Boise. Is Boise moving up?
Boise. Oh, Boise. No, there's
Boise State.
Boise State is
they're now
FBS.
No, I mean
the Vandals that are
they P now? P5, P4, P3?
No, Boise State's still Mountain West. No, they're part of the new pack. They're part of the new pack, which is
this shit moves too much. But yeah, they made it. App made it. Kennesaw made it. Air Force made it. I mean, that's a lot of G5 on the cover.
Mm-hmm. They're just trying to do whatever they can to act like they give a crap what the G6s are doing now.
Whoever put that together just didn't think about it, and they took the picture and went with it.
I was just like, this is good. I like it.
So got another
cool.
Got a comment over here.
What?
Don't we need a lot more players for football and basketball when a summer semester start? Is it not weird? It has been silent.
As far as I know, we don't. I think we're good, right?
I think football,
too many at one point.
I think football is pretty good. Basketball's got some opening spots, but they've got plenty of time for all. There's probably another basketball portal that's going to open up between now and then.
There's at least 15 windows between now and the season.
I think I think football's pretty much set, right? I think after the hoopla that went on after the spring games, I think that we know who we're running with. I think they can still pull players out of the portal that are in there. It's just no one can enter it right now.
You can't enter it, you can exit it.
Right.
But the consensus with a lot of coaches, there's not a lot of talent in the portal. Which
if they're in there now, there's a reason why no one has been pulling them out.
I do think that this jump to the portal thing is going to slow down as kids get stuck in the portal.
What happens to a kid that gets stuck? Where do you go?
You don't.
I mean, can they all form their own independent team?
I don't think so. So where like I think that schools would seem like the bad guy if they just cut a player like outright, like just where we had you on scholarship, but they always kind of got a bad rap throughout history when they removed that scholarship for something other than behavior. But like right now, this is like almost an out on some of them, right? It's like, oh hey, jump to the portal, and then like I wouldn't blame any school for cutting a kid that went to the portal and like asked to come back, but you would have cut them. I'm like, this is my opportunity to get rid of you, and nobody's gonna blame me.
Sure, there must be like an FAQ that says, hey, I entered the portal but didn't get out. What happens to me next? What can I do?
I saw.
Time to start working.
I mean, there's always the junior colleges and the Division IIs and Division IIIs they can drop into just to keep playing for another season if they have more than one left. But
and there's scholarships available for that stuff too. So like there's definitely landing places for those kids.
Right. And at this point, I'd imagine a Division III school, even if you don't get a scholarship, tuition is probably like what, $80 or something like that. So
at least, yeah.
No, I saw a post. I wasn't going to bring it up, but this kind of leads into it.
What?
I saw a post about there was some study done, and there was some correlation, which doesn't mean causation, of players who did not transfer, drafting higher than players who did transfer. And there's a lot to read into that. Whereas if you come in as a 5-star and you start from immediately and you play every down for your P5 program and you don't transfer, you're going to get drafted higher. But they were looking at it and they said it looks like that those who don't transfer or don't transfer as much tend to get drafted higher in the NFL. And Ryan, to your point, I think that we'll start seeing, once we have more data, more evidence, we'll find out whether or not it's a good move to transfer. Is that in long term? Now, short term NIL money, it's hard to refute a lot of that. But if you're looking at, a difference of $10,000 or something between one school and another one, maybe it's worth sticking around to see what your potential could be to play at the next level. I don't know.
I do think that there's a lot that we're going to learn, and maybe we'll learn that it is definitely good to just skip out every year and move along, and maybe we'll learn that it's best to sit tight, and probably something in between. But I don't think we're stuck at this. Everyone every year leaves.
I hope not. It's too much.
It's weird. I don't.
Just,
I think that go, Tim. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's almost like it's not. I mean, look, I know Ryan, you're gonna say it's not college football and it's not educational, and it's not. But the rotation stuff every year makes it even less like tied to education completely. Like the chaos and velocity of all that, all the changes in the portal, out of the portal. Are you in school? Are you doing anything in school? Are you like? I don't know. I just think it's not sustainable for anyone. And teams are going to run out of money, not the top teams, but those mid teams and the teams below our level. We're going to run out of money. No one can sustain multi-million-dollar bankrolling every year. You just can't.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Tim. I think that with the NIL, I think that's even more so than the transfer portal. I think you'll see an equilibrium reached in the NIL dollars, because sure, you ask somebody right now and you tell them, hey, you give us $1 million, I can buy a championship right now. And then they donate $1 million and they don't get the championship. And they're like, all right, cool, we need that $1 million again to get that championship. Okay, you didn't give it to me last time. Or hell, even if you did get it last time, people are like, all right, well, that was a one-time thing for me. I can't give you $1 million every single year. I can, whatever. So I think that you'll see the NIL is going to see a peak here now over the next few years. And then I think it'll kind of depend. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with the rest of college sports, but I think you'll start seeing people that were donating big time kind of backing off a little bit and not donating what they were donating.
Right. So. You got the settlement coming down and how that's going to impact everything. And then schools trying to figure out how the hell do we get out of this? Because we don't like to just give up all the money we have. I mean, they don't.
Yeah.
And we did see another post from IGTR.
Yeah. SEC announcing it's leaving the NCAA is a whole new thing in itself, which I've been saying was going to happen for a long time. And Ryan told me that he doesn't see why it would ever happen. And I'm happy. I don't like that it's happening, but
pretty sure Ryan calls both idiots about thinking that. Yeah.
I didn't call you idiot.
I'm pretty sure Ryan's called me an idiot on many occasions, on many subjects.
You guys are idiots.
Yeah. Oh man, I missed that one guy at the basketball games. That older guy.
So was this thing actually announced? Like that is happening, or was it just that social media post that was some rando saying SEC should leave?
It's a statement made by Sankey. Like, why are we even here? Basically,
okay, but they didn't announce they're leaving the NCAA.
No, there's no announcement unless it's been the last 54 minutes. We have not seen an announcement that they are officially departing
I don't know why they do it, because they already run it. They already control it. They set whatever rules they want. They do whatever they want. Why would they leave? It doesn't make any sense.
To
more money,
have to make sure they can completely exclude
what they want to,
the non-power programs as they want to
If they
have
wanted to do
complete
that,
control.
they'd have stopped scheduling us a decade ago.
Well, the conferences don't schedule the games. The teams schedule the games.
Well, but the
True.
teams are the conference, so
Yeah, I know, but and until the conference makes a rule stating that you can't do it, hell, I still find it still so absurd that the big programs still schedule FCS teams. When we were FCS and even as a bottom dweller or G5 program, I love the fact when we get our chances at Alabama or a Tennessee or something like that. But like looking at specifically Georgia, I pay more attention to their schedules because of being where they are and everything. But when they're playing Norfolk State, I'm like, what an insult to that fan base of UGA to play a team like that. I know.
I think teams like Bama and Georgia have proven that strength of schedule, it doesn't really matter all that much. That W is what really matters, and so they're like, well, we're incentivized to schedule this cupcake game to get another home game on our schedule to sell to season ticket holders.
I know, but there are so many
And
better
have
teams
tune-up
that they
games.
could but there are so many G5 programs that Georgia could schedule
Yeah, they cost more.
instead of an FCS program. At that point, we're talking about $100,000 here or there. That's $0 as far as they're concerned.
But we're talking about them leaving because they're trying to
not.
squeeze every bit of juice out of this fruit, and
You're gonna get 40 to 48 teams out of SEC, Big Ten, and the other power programs, and everyone else is gonna be left to figure out some other thing. There'll be
when the money runs dry.
There'll be Division I FBS. There'll be FCS, and there'll be whatever this new
Power
college
league
football playoff system is.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't understand what's driving it.
Money. It's always money, but
I know,
mean,
but like I feel like I've laid out a bunch of stuff that shows that money's not really gonna be better. Like, right?
Okay,
Like
money and prestige. They want to get rid of the cruft.
When
they don't even want the ACC or the Big 12. I mean, they're trying to minimize their limitations.
When Vanderbilt and Kentucky and Mississippi State are getting the same $75 million that Georgia and Bama are, the only way Georgia and Bama can get more money is to stop funding programs like those. So
that's still not on the table. So you're
not
still
right
I still think that
saying Vandy's not going with the SEC when they leave the NCAA.
I think that eventually they will not be part of whatever the new world is.
I
think
they go right along with them.
For a while. They can only last for so long.
No, I think they'll make a clean cut. I mean, it'll be the top tier of everything that leaves.
There's going to be a lot of SEC and ACC schools, Big 12, Big 10, that get left behind, and they'll probably have a hard time adjusting because they're used to getting 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars a year in TV revenue, and that's going to drop down to G5 levels of money where they're hoping to get $10 million a year, and they have a lot of resources a lot of annual expenditures that they're counting on that TV money to pay for. They're not going to have it coming in anymore. So
I don't know. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I don't get it.
All right, Tim, we have switched him. We've been doing this for 301 episodes, and we've got him from "it's never going to happen" to "I'm not saying it's not going to happen."
What did we talk about? Like,
that's about as big of a 180 as you can get from somebody.
David,
change your mind when given new information, and I do not understand the rationale behind a lot of these moves that have been being made. But like, here they are. They keep making them. They keep saying stuff like this, and like, no one associated with a program is gonna say something like that without. I mean, like really, the president of that university, whoever said that, should go to his coach and be like, "What the hell are you tweeting stuff like that out for?" But like, who knows if that happened, right? I mean, that the tweet's still out there, I'm sure. And it's like that to me it's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird, and it doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't feel like there's more money on the table over there. I don't see it. I just don't see it, and you have control over it right now, and you want to play us because you keep scheduling us. Yeah. So like you're probably going to keep scheduling us anyway. I just don't know I don't know what the end game here is.
I think what you're trying to say is David and I are visionaries, and that you are just now starting to see that it might actually
forward thinkers.
We are visionaries.
You're just as irrational as the people who run these programs.
I am very irrational. I agree with that 100%.
I mean, that was a good. I was going to tell you, David, that's a good episode. We should dig that episode up somehow and find out things we said and the responses from Ryan.
I think it's been.
I
don't know if
there's one. Call you an idiot.
I think you told us we're crazy.
Yeah,
actually. I don't know if there's one particular episode where it happened.
I don't like calling people stupid unless they're stupid, and you guys aren't dumb.
You stupid.
We went to Georgia State. We can't be stupid, right? It's not like we went to Trash Down South or something.
Yeah.
We have like 2.5 degrees between the three of us, so.
That seems stupid, and y'all ain't it.
But
I know you've been to a lot of libertarian conventions.
Hey, that's
stupid. That was a low blow.
No, he's not wrong.
I don't know. I've never been to one, so I have no clue. So
either have I. So I'm talking
any
out of my
mass
ass.
People that size is going to have some their fair share of special cases.
So the whole breaking off NCAA thing, I think the SEC was just posturing mostly. They're trying to separate themselves from the ACC and the Big 12. They don't agree with the performance of those leagues, and they don't think that they really matter as much, right? That's the whole thing behind all the proposals that are being made about the guaranteed spots and all that stuff. They don't care about those two leagues. They don't need them, and I think they're just setting all of this up just to say, "Hey, we're the best, and we deserve all the spoils and all the spots in the championship, and also just
whether we deserve them or not, we deserve them."
Well, he's doing a good job of saying he deserves them, right?
So. It's funny because like the guaranteed spot, like if you deserve them, then you'll earn them, right? Then you'll win your spot. So
I just say straight rank. Who cares? Don't guarantee this, that.
I'll take that.
No, I still think I still
you
think
want guarantee?
I like conference champions guaranteed, and everybody else straight rank.
I like exactly. I like conference champions making it in, and
G5.
I mean, one G5s, but I know that's just.
I like all G5. If you're a conference,
I agree. But if they're only going to have 16 teams, they're not going to put 10 of those teams.
No.
8 of those teams being
conference G5 champion.
Yeah. So as a 16-team playoff, I think it probably should be the top 6 conference champion or top 6 conference champions. But if they want to throw a bone at top 5, that's fine. At least we know that one group of 5, group of 6 conference is going to get in there.
And I just want one of us in, because at some point they're going to be like, "Hey, it's been nice, but we're done. You're not getting in."
So was it Boise State last year?
Mm-hmm.
And this whole like reseeding thing came about because they didn't like Boise State getting that first round bye, which ended up being a bad game as well. I think that if they would have played by the new rules last season, we would have had Boise State playing Indiana, which I think would be would have been a lot better game than who they have, Penn State or whoever the hell they had, something like that.
Someone super difficult.
Yeah.
And like, I will say this one nice thing about Kennesaw. Thank you for beating Liberty. Because the thought of that happening.
Oof. Well, Liberty is going to consistently, as far as the rules are now, Liberty will be winning the Conference USA every single year, year. And they will always be at the top of the G5 ranks because they've got more money than most of the schools in their conference have combined. So
you got to joke with them a little bit. Come on.
Yeah. And the power of God on their side. So
more money than God and all of his money. I mean, what else do you need? They don't need anything.
We could have made our podcast called the Blues Brothers. That would have been a way better podcast name.
Liberty brings up Blues Brothers.
Well, I was thinking the power of God, or on a mission from God.
Okay.
That's what got me thinking of the Blues Brothers. Like Georgia State Blue. We could have been the Blues. Ryan, you and I could have been the Blues Brothers. And then we would have brought in Tim. He would be the John Goodman to our Aykroyd and Belushi.
Not that cool though.
By the way, I'm Belushi because I'm definitely the one that's going to die from an alcohol poisoning or drug overdose or something at some point. So,
all right,
but we're just not that cool. So that would have been overstepping, you know.
And I would have been lame. I would have made us buy black suits with ties to wear with sunglasses every episode.
Oh, wow.
Blue suits probably.
Going all out.
Well, we should
that lasted.
But blue suits, right?
Well, we definitely need to have some. Why can't we have some Blues Brothers? We need to do some Blues Brothers tie-ins for Georgia State.
Yeah, it'd be rad. Do it.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting for the blue and white bar to open.
The blue and the white.
Yeah.
All right. What is you find me that winning lottery ticket, and I will open that for you. Okay. I want to open it where that old liquor store was in Summerhill that has that huge rooftop deck.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that thing is stable enough to hold people, but that'd be cool.
Oh, no, I was up there. It's still there.
People go up there still, but it's missing a lot of board. I mean, it's I would not go up there.
I went up there. You got to watch.
Well, my lottery winnings, I would fix it up. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like wooden planks. It'd be fine. It wouldn't cost that much to replace that thing.
How did I never think of Blues Brothers before?
I don't know, but that is. I mean, you're right. I mean, no one has. I've not seen it anywhere.
Mm-mm.
Right. All right. That's what was it? I can't think of names right now.
What?
Blues Brothers names. They have awesome names, and I can't think of it. I can hear them, but I can't say them. Aykroyd's and Belushi.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
Don't say that. Don't say that on a public forum, Ryan.
I know. I should add it to my list and
you should
watch.
Elwood, and damn it, Dana would know it if he was still watching.
It's Dan Aykroyd's the other guy, right?
Aykroyd and Belushi. Yeah.
And Goodman.
Well, they did the remake, Blues Brothers 2000 or whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
Jake and Elwood. That's what it was. Jake and Elwood.
Belushi.
Elwood. Yeah, that was John Belushi. Did they bring in Jim Belushi? It was Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, and John Goodman came back in to do the Blues Brothers 2000 or whatever it was.
Elwood Blues was Dan Aykroyd.
I don't know.
There's a lot of characters.
I think we're in some serious last call territory.
We're in last call territory by far. I think when we start talking about Liberty in Kennesaw.
Yeah, I blame you. I blame you, Tim. All right, get us out of here. Get us out of here.
All right, I'll get us out of here. Thanks for listening, everyone. We're going to take a quick break and head over to last call. But before that, someone's going to go pee. Someone's getting another beer. Someone's going to make another cocktail. If you liked what you heard or you didn't, join our Patreon anyway at patreon.com/Dave Atlanta. You'll get live streaming access, discounts on merch, group chat, all the breaking news, adult beverages at our tailgates, maybe some groundbreaking merch for the baseball stadium or field or park, depending on which one you
Shovels. We need shovels.
Shovels. For $5 a month, become a fan of the show. We'd love to have you aboard. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace. Why is that? There we go.